Excuse me. You know, I really hate it when I'm sharing links on Twitter and the thumbnail doesn't show properly. But anyway, that's just that's completely unrelated. So we're back with Lucid9. Let's see. I mean, I think we're close to the end. I'm pretty sure we're confronting who, well, we assume is the man behind the disappearances and the murders of the students at the academy, and who we assume is holding Ryui captive, our childhood friend of 10 years. And, well, I believe the last time we were playing, we were on the phone with him. Alright. I guess, yeah, we're just talking over the phone with a serial killer. I switch back to Ryota's call and unmute. He chuckles lightly. If you just asked the police for help, I wouldn't count on it. You don't know a thing, do you? I know you're the murderer. That's a pretty good start. Hey, murderer is such a harsh term. I like to call myself an artiste with a E. Or artiste or artist with an E, I guess. He chuckles again, but this time it comes with a pinch of shrillness that wasn't there before. Also, I need to put on my glasses. I always forget to put on my glasses. Gotta wear your glasses if you're confronting a psychopath. You see properly. My foreboding only skyrockets. Just what kind of insanity has he been hiding? So, hung up the call. Now what? Quite simply, the fun begins. Come to my play, boy. I've been setting the stage. This just confirms my fears. For some reason, Ryota's been preparing to kill me. Maybe I'm the next one on his list. No, I can't let this shake me. I have to stay strong. Talk normally. You've done it before. Oh, the false bravado of a man in love. I know it well. Did I really sound like that, I wonder? It's so terribly stupid. Are you going to answer my question, or are you going to wax more poetry? Poetry is by far the most interesting option, don't you think? Only for people with too much time on their hands. And that is the eternal problem, boy. For both of us. We each have too much time on our hands. Far, far too much. Doesn't life just get dull? Every hour passing drearily, like a never-ending group project, when all you want to do is murder your classmates. That's what life is. How do you ease your boredom, I wonder? Television? Social media? No, you do neither. Sleep. Thanks, Shakespeare, but I think my life is my own business. I spend it watching anime and playing video games. I think that could ease my boredom pretty well, I think. You know? You don't have to murder people. Oh well. I look forward to stripping that sense of righteous anger within you and replacing it with terror. I look forward to you trying. I love the ones that fight back. It just makes their descent all the more satisfying. Before I can respond, he plows on, his voice gradually rising in pitch. Now, let's set the stage, shall we? I thought you were taking care of that. Oh, don't worry. I'll be taking care of all the props. You hear me, boy? Don't bring any extra props. The thought never crossed my mind. Leave your phone on, and any police toys at the entrance. I'll see if you try to smuggle something into the theater, understand? Is that it? Not quite. Why are you so hasty to end the call? Am I boring you? Sure, let's go with that. Then, I'll get straight to the point. There's a brief moment of silence, punctuated only by the faint tones of Ryota punching numbers into his phone. Then I hear a voice. Well, who's this? Ryui, I assume? Yama, don't you dare do anything stupid! Nothing hits me, but it's like all the breath has been sucked out of my lungs. Ryui? Stay there! Don't come! I wordlessly open and close my mouth, desperately searching for words. My mind only runs blank. I'm sure you're already aware of this, but right now I am the master of Ryu's fate, so you might want to stay on my good side. This is how it's going to happen. You come to the back of the school, you know, the garbage truck route. You're gonna dump all your toys. Then I'll let you in. How? There's no entrance. Why is it they all say the same thing? Boring. Where there's a will, boy, there's a way. So that's it then. Well, actually, I feel like I should tell you this, just out of the kindness of my own heart. Ryu won't be there. For insurance purposes, I'm sure you understand. My fingers clamp in a death grip on my phone. What do you mean, Ryu won't be there? Hush, child. Why are you so impatient? Right now, Ryu's in the safe hands of a third party, so long as you listen to my words. Is she? Is she now? So, we meet up, have a little chat, and I let Ryu go. Everyone gets their happy ending, except the police, who, well, you know, they don't do anything anyway. A beautiful arrangement, no? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I grind my teeth and force a long, slow breath. If I go, I won't be able to see Ryu with my own eyes. She could be anywhere. Even when Shigure comes, we won't be able to find her. But am I really in the position to be making demands? Well, another choice. Interesting. And I guess, yeah, I'll have to rotate my save, so I'll start saving here. I didn't want to before because I wanted to make thumbnails, because I wanted to cut these parts into, like, YouTube videos and stuff. And I had to go back and make some thumbnails by taking some screenshots. But anyway, okay, so yeah, I mean, don't you always hear the phrase never negotiate with terrorists? So it's probably a bad idea to agree, but at the same time, what Yama said, like, it's not like we can make any demands. If we refuse, there's a chance that Mr. Ryota will just not, you know, will not see us, and then that ruins the whole plan, because the whole point of us confronting him is to buy time so the police can catch him. Or at least, well, Shigure. I don't know if the police, again, we don't know if they're corrupt or not. But at the very least, maybe Shigure will catch him. For, like, allies and resources. And also, of course, if we refuse, he can also just kill Ryu right away. We lose. Or lose, I guess, quote unquote. If we agree, then we're just walking into a trap. Which, I mean, we'd be playing into his hands, basically. And what he said, like, we just have a little chat. That's obviously not what's gonna happen. That's obviously not what's gonna happen. He's just gonna murder us, most likely. It makes sense, actually, if we were the next victim. Because, he is targeting students with, like, psychological problems, right? And we fit that bill. He might just murder us. And he might murder us and just murder you next, just for fun. I don't know. We don't exactly know Ryoda's intentions here, other than the fact that, I guess, he's bored, and so he just wants to murder people because he's bored. I don't know. Part of me thinks, at the same time though, we're pretty alike, aren't we? Ryoda and Yama? So maybe he just wants a, apprentice? Isn't that how it usually goes? You know? A serial killer wants someone to, I guess, pass on the baton, you know? That sort of thing. Because no one understands them, or something. I don't know. Well, no one understands Missy Ryoda except Yama, maybe. I don't know. Tough decision, tough decision. Well, I guess the more interesting path is to agree to these terms, because what else are we gonna do? Just sit here and do nothing? No, I can't predict this new Ryoda. I have no power, no trump card. If I push too much, it can make the situation even worse. I'll just have to make the most of it. The back of the school, then. I'll give you 15 minutes. I'm coming from the subway station. Then you better run. Ta-ta. And that's the last thing he says before he hangs up. Almost blankly, I stand in the middle of the subway platform, phone swinging loosely from the edge of my fingers. Then, all of my muscles burst into action and I shoot out of the subway, legs pounding the pavement as fast as I can make them. A good thing we were in track club then. My lungs start to burn as the cold night air cuts into my throat like knives, but I'm forced to ignore it. Stoplights in the cross sections warn me to stop, but when I see a gap between the incoming cars, I bolt across for my life. Engines roar by and horns belt in full volume. I'm certain that the cars roll down their windows and to call me crazy, scream that I'm an idiot, swear to call the police on me, but I don't care. Well, call the police on me? That's too late, buddy. They're coming back from a long workday, or from grabbing fast food around the corner, or picking up their kid from martial arts or cram school. Meanwhile, there's a girl locked up somewhere, knowing nothing, except the sickening fact that at any moment, she might die. And yet on they go, with fast food and martial arts and cram school. I guess, I mean, yeah, they don't know. Everyone else does not know about the situation. It's not exactly, you can't really tell anyone else except Shigure. Only Shigure would believe you, Yama, so it feels a little bit unfair, doesn't it? The world blurs by in a haze of bright fluorescent color until I finally grind to a halt at the entrance of the school. Though when I think about it, you know, Yama could still enlist other people, right? Miss Ryoda told us not to bring anything, but we could probably still ask, like, Yahiko or Masato. Most likely, yeah, Masato would... probably a bad idea, though, because Masato would just barge into the gates to fight Mr. Ryoda, and that's a horrible idea, because then they'll just get Ryu killed. But Yahiko could help, probably. He has connections, right? And Elizabeth has connections in the police. As corrupt as it is, she could still buy time, right? Akira, well, she can't do much, but moral support. Irie, we've learned that she's quite good at jumping, like off the roof and stuff. I don't know. I'm suspecting she's like a super soldier or something. She could help. Misaki, I mean she has social media as her weapon. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, we could still ask for help from our friends, right? They could help in indirect ways, I think. At the very least, help find out where Ryu is, right? You know, I think they at least would believe us other than Shigure about the situation. But I guess we're not doing that. We're just going. We're just gonna go directly to Mr. Ryota. And I guess, yeah, because we don't have much time, right? He only gave us 15 minutes. Asking for help now might take too long, since we just ran all the way here. And I think he also said like he might be monitoring our phone as well. So yeah, we're quite limited in our options, I think. Ran all the way here. My heart feels as though it's slamming to my ribs, bruising itself until it bleeds. I am forced to stop and lean against the gate, gulping desperately for air. 13 minutes. I only have 2 left. I press my sleeve against the sweat coating my brow, allowing myself time for one more deep breath. Then I spin around the perimeter of the school, stopping by the shady back area where all the good kids stay clear of. Ground-up cigarette butts lie scattered on the floor, and if I squint, I can catch the light gleam of empty needles in the grass. Rich kids doing drugs and smoking. What a surprise. Well, maybe this school was a little less tidy than I first thought. As I near the trash bin, I notice a long, distinctly human-shaped figure leaning against the solid wall. Fine weather we're having. I expect the voice, but I don't expect the instinctive reaction that comes with it. My breath catches, and my throat clogs, sending tears straight to my eyes, no matter how hard I try to keep them down. It's in a different pose. How menacing. It's kind of like a... Actually, it's kind of like a JoJo pose. Anyway. And Ryota steps into the moonlight, lips twisted into a lopsided grin. You expected Mr. Ryota, but it was me, Dio! No, out for the little night exercise. I try to speak, but no sound passes my lips. I know what he's doing. I know what this is. A power play. I'm sweaty, tired, disheveled, and likely very sleep-deprived. Forcing me to run here only gave him more of an advantage. And there's nothing I can do about it. Now, removal of gadgets if you may. Very, very menacing. Wordlessly, I reach into my pocket and silently hand him my phone. I don't have any other choice. Turn out your pockets. Pants and jacket. I do so. You're walking evenly, so I doubt you're carrying anything in your shoes or your underwear. Come in. We've wasted enough time. How? We're at the back of the... But then he touches the wall, and part of it slides away, and suddenly, there's a keypad. He jabs a sequence of 6 digits into the keypad, waits, and the wall slides open. It's nothing like one of those mysterious puzzles of ancient architecture in video games, where the whole wall rumbles apart while the ground shakes and dust falls from the ceiling, and a magical passage is revealed. Simply put, a door-shaped part of the wall swings open, as if it was just a door painted to look like the wall, except the texture is somehow exactly the same. It's quiet, it's understated, and I would have never guessed in a million years that it was there. Ryota clocks my shock and only grins in response. Let me tell you something, kid. The janitor has to get in and out, and somehow to dump his trash. Now, smooth little schools like this, they love to give the illusion that they're perfectly protected. Impenetrable walls in every direction. The only gates supervised by a card reader and cameras. But, functionally speaking, you think that the janitor is gonna walk out the gates all the way around the school, dump, go back all the way around and through the gates? Of course not. That's sheer nonsense. Sheer nonsense. Something on the level of presuming that the janitor took everything to the land of missing socks. I mean, it is pretty unbelievable, but, well, I guess that's the explanation of how Ryota has been kidnapping the students. without going through the gate. I knew there had to be another way in, and well, it took some searching, but that's how I found this. Why hadn't I thought of something like that? Why did it have to be Ryota? If you're trying to brag, don't expect a red carpet award from me. What I'm trying to tell you, kid, is that even the richest school in all Izumo has a crappy security system. A one man, outsmarted it, just like this. To be fair, they probably weren't expecting a serial killer to be in their faculty. Sloppy work on their part. Let's go. The night isn't getting any younger, nor am I. He turns and slides into the corridor, moving so fluidly that his head stays perfectly even over the ground. I then notice that his careful steps renders him virtually silent, like a predator hunting down a piece of injured prey. It's a simple matter of exiting the building, turning the corner and entering the classroom complex. He leads me up the stairs to the second floor. He pulls open the door, lifting an eyebrow at me. I only stare inside the dim gloom, suddenly filled with dread. Everything could be a trap. Ryota could have already killed Ryui. Shigure could be lying. There's so many moving components to this encounter, so many potential things that could go completely wrong. I turn my gaze to Ryota, who only jerks his head at the door in a distinctly more impatient fashion. Impatience. I file this nugget into the back portion of my mind that's still miraculously working. Then, with one deep breath, I enter the classroom. Ryota follows straight behind me, announcing my appearance with a loud crow. And the delinquent arrives at last. He pushes up his sleeves as if he's getting ready for work, tossing his keys and phone on the top of the desk, probably in an effort to unburden himself for whatever he has planned. I stop abruptly, my eyes roving frantically across the classroom, searching empty space. Huddled in the back corner of the room are two desolate figures tied firmly to their chairs. The first is a girl, the second a boy. I don't recognize either of them, but they look young, maybe in their first year. They're speechless, but even from where I sit, I can see the sweat rolling from their temples and dripping onto their necks, and their knees are clearly shaking. Both of them, absolutely terrified, innocent bystanders pulled into this sick, dastardly game. That's when Ryota abruptly pounds the handle of his knife against his desk, blasting my ears, with a sudden sound. My heart instinctively jumps into my throat. He snickers quietly at the shock that must be evident on my face. Welcome, class. Hate to say it, but you're now in remedial session. Suffice to say, you've all screwed up in a big way, and it's my job to whip you back into shape. How I hate it, but someone in this snooty little elementary school has to smack the hands of the naughty ones. He suddenly whips to me, his eyes blazing fire, pointing the tip of his knife right at my chest. You, why aren't you sitting down? I sit down, throat dry. Ryota's shoulders immediately relax. Good. That's exactly how I like it. Now, Ishimoto, is it? Since you came in late? You came in lit. I got high before I came here. No, since you came in late, you get to be my special assistant. My body goes cold. My eyes immediately turn to the knife. Ryota, reading my intentions, chuckles. Oh, don't look so scared, boy. You'll help me discipline. Sounds like a much better position to be in, doesn't it? Relief courses through me, and I hate myself for it. I shouldn't be relieved. He is a discipliner. I am a discipliner. Whatever he is planning on doing, I will have to copy. If he breaks bones, so must I. If he saws through limbs, so must I. And if I don't, then all of us will be killed. Right here, right now. Because the only thing keeping him playing along is me. You know, this is a next level of make-believe. What do we have to do? Oh, it's quite simple. He strides behind the teacher's desk and pulls out something underneath. My heart drops. 2 metal pipes, around 3 feet in length, rough around the edges. He rolls one to me. I automatically stoop down and pick it up. We'll take turns inflicting blows on our disciplinees. Good, solid blows that make a nice musical sound. The first discipliner who knocks out or kills their disciplinee loses. The 2 students explode into wailing at this statement. You bastard! You damn bastard! I can't believe you! Please, don't hurt my sister! Don't hurt me! This makes me freeze. Brother and sister? I silently watch as Ryota gleefully skips over to the chairs, dragging the 2 students over. Brother and sister. The cruelty will never end. I swear, if you lay one finger on my brother... Ryota stops abruptly. The momentum throws the girl against her ropes, temporarily choking her into silence. Isn't she just so darling? I picked her out specifically for you, boy. You? Did you? Oh, yes. And she gets to be yours. I stare in silent horror at the girl. She only turns her head away. Hisao, look at me. Look at me, Hisao. The terrified boy locks eyes with her, face dows in a mixture of tears and sweat. You'll be okay. It'll be okay. Do you understand? It won't be. It'll be okay. Of course she'd say that. Except, the first person to fall unconscious means a loss. Which means I have to inflict pain without the promise of comfort. I can't do this. If I want to win, or at least not lose, each blow needs to be felt by their conscious mind. Oh, don't give me that face, boy. Be glad I didn't pick the knife. I mean, I'm pretty tempted to, but then you probably lapse, and that's just boring. Something like this needs to be remembered. So, are we ready to begin? No, we can't. I'll go first. Watch and learn. He stands over the boy, gripping the pipe tightly in one hand, keeping the knife in the other. I watch, transfixed, even while everything in my brain is screaming for me to turn away and close my eyes. The boy whimpers quietly, eyes wide, squirming about the crude ropes that bind him to his chair. Ryota smirks quietly at him and ruffles his hair. You know, this could be a good opportunity to grab my pipe and just hit Ryota in the head. But, might be a bad idea though, because we end up accidentally killing him. Or, well, two possibilities. We might accidentally end up killing him, in which case, we'll never know Ryu's location, and most likely she'll die. Because the third party will know that Ryota's dead. Or, we might not be actually strong enough to defeat Ryota, even with the surprise attack, because, I mean, he has a knife as well, so we're kind of outplayed here. Or rather, not outplayed, but like, I assume, like, Ryota is like a full adult, right? And we're just a kid, so he'll probably just, overwhelm us. with his physical abilities, I assume. Though, there's a third possibility, but I don't know if it'll work, and I don't know if it'll go that way. Let's see. But for now, I guess we're just gonna watch him bash in the skull of some innocent bystanders. How horrible. Not gonna lie to you, kid. This is gonna hurt like hell. No. Ryota raises the pipe painstakingly slow, reveling in the drama of the moment. 3, 2, 1. He whips the pipe down, and when it's just an inch away from the boy's kneecaps, he stops. Psych! The boy releases a great shuddering gasp, shoulders dropping in relief. Then, without a moment of hesitation, Ryota lifts the pipe and brings it down. Well, he just... double psych, I guess. Crack goes bone against metal, and the air splits from the impact of a horrifying, agonized scream, punctuated by a shrill screech of metal as the base of the chair grinds against the ground from the force of impact. The boy is so screaming as Ryota steps back, an expression that I've never seen before dawning on his face. Oh, beauty, true beauty, how poignant is your sting. He giggles quietly to himself as the boy writhes against his chair, leg forced in an awkward angle. Damn it! This can't go on. I can't let this go on. Then, there's just one thing to do. Well, your turn, boy. This is a nightmare with no awakening, a dark tunnel with no sign of light. What use is it? There's nothing left to wait for. It's better to end it quickly than to prolong needless pain. I shouldn't have come here in the first place. I shouldn't have tried to fix anything. If only I had remained unattached. If only I had stayed oblivious, none of this would have happened. I raised the pipe with certainty, hands cold but steady. It would have been better if I just stayed as a normal high school student, breezing past his final year of studies before the university exam, alienated from this world of misery. I swing the pipe. The impact rushes assuredly into her skull, splitting it cleanly. And I mean, we could have made multiple decisions there, but I guess Yama chose for us. She doesn't have time to scream. I straighten, expecting to fear, terror, guilt, fear. The only thing that overcomes me is a wave of nausea. Not the sickening blow of a fever or a flu, something on a deeper scale that flows to the outer edge of my body. A sensation that's slimy and uncurable. Murderer, my mind whispers. There's a silence from Ryota, even from the boy, not a single peep. The boy should be screaming in fury. He should be swearing vengeance at me, vowing to make me suffer for killing his sister. Ryota should be cackling with satisfaction. He's finally broken me to the point where I've taken a life. The two of them only stare at me, silently, as if frozen in time. Frozen in... frozen in... I drop the pipe, but it lands soundlessly, like the world is a velvet muffler. What is this? I step towards Ryota, but he doesn't budge. His eyes remain on the spot where I was. Are we getting supernatural here? I mean, alright. Either this is another hallucination, or we're getting into the realm of the supernatural. In which case, I don't know how I feel about that, but let's see what happens. The room is still and silent, and miraculously peaceful, like a scene put on pause, or a stage play in the middle of intermission. A shadow flits in the corner of my vision, immediately drawing my attention. Who's there? Nothing. Of course nothing. There's no longer anything. Simply emptiness. Because I am helpless. There's nothing left for me. This is out of my control. I can do nothing more. Death after death. An endless cycle of suffering, living in a world that delights in breaking innocent souls. It's better to just give up and die. If I could fall to the ground right at this moment and just let myself rot, that would certainly be ideal. Or do I need to live? To lie down without a fight, or to set my revenge on the world? To make society resent the people who raised such a monster? A tantalizing thought. This is out of my control, and now in my control. And so I wake. Time has resumed. No, it never stopped at all. Nani? The colors changed. And if I remember correctly, it changed when we were at from Ryu's perspective, right? And this color, this piece of paper also can change colors every time we had those scenes in the forest as well. I think, if I remember correctly. So somehow we've changed into a different person. And I don't think that was actually time stopping. I don't think that was actual supernatural powers or anything. But they, I guess, a perception of time being stopped, I guess? I don't know what's happening. Well, I mean, we still murdered that girl, I guess. The girl's split corpse tumbles crookedly in her chair. If I bothered to look, I would have probably seen organs slithering out of her skull. I breathed deeply despite the cloying scent of iron, feeling refreshingly alive. You monster! Despite his numerous injuries, the boy writhes against his chair, screaming in a toxic concoction of fury and pain. A truly tragic scenario. But he's obnoxious, and hardly influential. It would be better to dispose of him without hesitation. I reached down and grabbed the pipe, crushing it against his forehead with all the force I could muster. Instant silence. I sigh quietly, flicking fragments of bone and blood off the pipe, feeling, for the first time, in total control of the situation. So, this is true strength. How I envy it. I turn my gaze to the man standing by the shattered teacher's desk. His face is utterly still, mask of years of long practice, but I can sense new wings of terror beating beneath his breast. It's probably been a long time since a man like him has felt fear, almost an entirely new sensation. I smile absently, a tingle of pride buried beneath my hollowness. This man, with a haggard face, beaten brow, shredded pupils, accustomed to the chaos of the highest order, fears me. Who are you? Why do you ask? I see this man's calculations crumbling in his eyes. Clearly, this is a situation he has not expected. I guess... Is this my split personality? Was this a thing after all? You're not Yama. Nonsense. There's no one else I could plausibly be. He's simply limited by his preconceived notions. The fool. I advanced toward him, raising my well-worn pipe. Let him burn. Let this whole world burn. It deserves nothing less. Wait. He throws up a hand, trembling with adrenaline, looking for a way to escape. He's such a brave man, and yet so cowardly. I'm waiting. You You want something different, don't you? I stretched my sore muscles idly, paying little heed to the knife clenched tightly in the man's hands. An intelligent fellow, he's had it all this time, but even though he's drawn it, he knows better than to use it on me. Really? Yeah, I thought Ryoda would easily overpower us, but for some reason he's just scared of us. We've just entered like super edgelord mode, and he can't handle it. Oh no! What could you possibly mean? The man is still for a moment, his eyes flickering down to my open ribcage, but the knife stays at his side. Instead, he raises his unarmed hand, pointing it across the room toward the broad window that clipses the edge of the classroom. I know that look in your eyes. We're not so different, you and I. No? This seems like a perfectly acceptable moment to chuckle, when not even a smile crosses my lips. Intriguing. You want bloodshed. I can help you in that. You will gain very little from killing me, as opposed to letting me help you. I tilt my head, humming quietly. A sensible offer, but I suddenly flash forward, holding my pipe with both hands. Ryoda reflexively swings his knife, but his actions move like mud to my eyes. I easily catch his blade against my pipe and drive the leverage to rotate into his chest. What? How do we learn how to do this? This is what, Nani? The knife sinks softly into his flesh. He stares at me, agape. Apparently, we're just amazing. We just know how to like disarm someone. Well, not disarm. Well, I mean, I guess the way it works, like we parried his knife and then turn it towards him. That's kind of like a superhuman feat, don't you think? I don't know. Oh well, I guess we're just like Super Yama now. Or well, I don't know. I don't know if we are Yama. What are we exactly? I have no idea. You couldn't have been more wrong about what I want. Unfortunately for you. You. I jolt my grip, thrusting the knife deeper in. He gasps for breath with a gurgling sound, no doubt the result of blood flushing through his lungs. I release my hold, knowing the wound to be fatal, and step away. After a moment of deliberation, I decide to pick up Ryoda's pipe. A nice moment of irony. Get it? Irony? Anyway. I step to the classroom window, my path littered with corpses. Jiro Ryoda, an unfortunate boy and an unfortunate girl. I draw myself to the window, regarding the peaceful sky without emotion. To see smoke cloud that sky, flecked with embers and ashes, I look forward to seeing that day. The new story shall begin here. I casually flick the lock on the window and push it open with my pipe. I would have liked to crack the glass open like I cracked their skulls, but I have more important things to take care of. It is time for the city to remember. Bad end? What is this? I mean, I guess... we turn into the bad guy? What a weird ending. But I guess it's been a little bit foreshadowed in the sense that we might have had a split personality all this time. Or maybe, I think it's more so that, I think in that very moment is when Yama developed a split personality to cope with what he just did. I think that's what happened. And he becomes probably, like I assume, the next serial killer, right? But I guess that isn't canon though, that's the bad end. I wonder... Well, I mean, okay. Let's go back. Let's go back here. I think it was this decision, right? Whether or not to meet with Ryoda, right? Is what made us, like, reach that point, I guess, of complete insanity, I assume. So this time, let's refuse these terms. I wonder what happens though. We just say no to Mr. Ryota. No. If I can't see Ryu, then this entire ordeal is pointless. I have to take this risk. You know me better than that, Ryota. I have to see Ryu with my own 2 eyes. Who knows? You could be lying. You could kill her before I show up. I'm wounded. Do you really think I would do something so cliché? Well, I didn't think you would be a serial killer. But here we are. Forgive me for not taking chances and not getting the bad end. Fair enough, boy. I'll play along. She'll be here by the time you arrive. I'll even let you see her before you enter the school. That was oddly, very oddly agreeable of him. Enough to make me feel as though I walked straight into his setup. So I guess this time he's agreed to let us see Ryui, but I'll even let you see her? I don't know. That just... that seems like a setup. Like just like what Yaman just said. Because he doesn't guarantee her survival. You know? Then, boy, is that all? Time passes ever on. Can I get anything more from him? Right now, the situation still seems grim. Oh, I guess we can still accept, or we can still reject again. I guess say over that. I mean, reject again, we might be pushing our luck. He might just say, fuck you, and we just accomplish nothing. Or we can accept this time, and, you know, walk, or rather go to where he is. And I guess he promised to let us see Ryui, right? Then again, it's still pretty sketchy what he's saying. Doesn't look like we have much of a choice, though. I mean, we literally do have a choice, but well, let's accept this time. Maybe this time it'll be different. Who knows? Now, if I'm honest, there's not a whole lot more I can ask without making the request seem downright ridiculous to Ryota. Ryu's gonna be there. I'm gonna see her. The police will know where I am. This is the most I can ask for. The back of the school, then. I'll give you 15 minutes. Coming from a subway station, then you better run, ta-da! Okay. Same thing. Almost blankly. I stand, and I sprint as fast as I can. I jaywalk. Everyone is complaining that I'm jaywalking, but I'm doing it for a reason, guys. Honest. And meanwhile, there's a girl hedged in a dark room, alone. Her only company, a crazed murderer who takes pleasure in the infliction of long and extended agony. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because the first time we went, Ryu supposedly is kept safe somewhere else, but this time, you know, since she's there with us, or she's there with Ryota anyway, that might make things worse. I don't know. Alright, we're here again. Yeah. 13 minutes. The back area. Fine weather we're having. Okay, is it different this time? It seems the same for now. Little night exercise. It's power play. Removal of gadgets. I said, so remember, you said you showed me Ryu first. He only chuckles at this, not even a chuckle of amusement. It almost sounds giddy. Oh, good. You're already learning how to play the game. He turns and points silently at the second floor of the classroom building. Most of it is shrouded in darkness, but just by the window I catch a glint of... You saw, didn't you? So, phone? All I saw was orange hair. It could be a dupe. Sighing heavily, Ryoda reaches for his phone and taps the screen a few times. He only has to wait a few seconds. Really? Your boyfriend's having some trust issues? Be a dear and look out the window. I stare at the building, forcing myself not to blink, half convinced that if I look away for a split second, I'll miss everything. And where was she again? Second floor. I don't know if this is important or not, but second floor of the classroom building. That's what he said. The head of orange hair by the window turns slowly, revealing a distant pale face, muddled slightly by the distortion of the window. But without a doubt, it's Ryui. Is it though? You still can't really see clearly, right, Yama? It could be just, it could literally just be someone else wearing a wig. I don't know. But I guess Yama's gonna assume that's Ryui. I sigh, breathlessly, instinctively, something that I can't stop in time. Ryoda smiles triumphantly. Phone. I silently hand him my phone. Okay, and the same thing's gonna happen. Turn out your pockets, I do so. Nothing in your shoes or your underwear, we've wasted enough time. We're at the back of the school, but opens the secret door with the secret keypad the janitor uses. Never would have guessed. Yep. Sheer nonsense. I wonder if the same thing's gonna happen though. Like, he's probably gonna lead us to the classroom, right? Where we use the pipe to bash skulls in, and then we turn crazy. But, I mean, it could be that who we're bashing the skulls in, it might be, someone we know this time. Or maybe not, I don't know. Because I don't know if, like, knowing that Ryui's safe, I wonder if that, allows us to make a different decision. Let's find out. Oh, leads me to the stairs, the second floor. Oh yeah, actually, yeah. It's the floor where we saw Ryui. Suddenly filled with dread, everything could be a trap. Ryu could have been moved, Shuka could be lying. Impatience? Yeah, we did, like, note that before. I don't know if we can take advantage of that somehow. Impatience. Okay. When it arrives at last, we're doing the same old play. Again. Oh. I guess it is different this time a little bit. And yeah, Ryu is one of them. Instead of 2 people now, it's 3 people. Eyes were there's an empty space. There. Huddled in the back corner of the room are 3 desolate figures, each tied firmly to their chairs. One of them, with streaks of orange hair shining softly in the scant moonlight, is Ryui. For a moment I see nothing else. My eyes fix on her and my throat closes. Happy? I shuffle forward, a choked whimper tearing out of my mouth before I can stop it. It's only after seeing her that the weight falls, that I realize how long it's been since we've last spoken, that I realize how much I missed her, that I remember what life was like without her. I brace my hands against the desk to keep myself from collapsing bonelessly to the ground, forcing slow and steady breaths into my lungs. Still alive, and before my eyes. She screams something muffled against her gag and kicks the wall. The abrupt noise stops me in my tracks. Oh, it seems the damsel in distress wants to share some lovely little words. Clearly amused, he stands to his feet and swaggers over to the chairs. In one fluid motion, he flourishes something from the teacher's desk and holds it high in the air. A knife, serrated and sickly, the blade glinting coldly at the edges. With a jolt of panic, I leap forward. Don't! He slices down. Again? Nah, time freezes once more. Tokyo Tomare. The tip of the knife whizzes forward and over, straight towards Ryu's skull, searing the air below it in two. And at the last moment pulls back and neatly shreds the knot of her gag. The claw flutters elegantly in the air, coming to rest on the linoleum below. Okay. We thought that Ryota was about to kill her. I guess Ryama thought, anyway. I force a ragged breath as Ryota screeches. Oh, kid, look on your face. Priceless. Priceless. Mr. Ryota, the master of baiting. I slump against the desk, my relief too great to allow room for anger. Instead, I stare at Ryui. Her eyes, her hair, the tip of her nose, letting the memorized image remind me of home. Comfort, teasing, loud Christmas dinners and scented candles at a town festival, whispered inside jokes, elbows in the ribs, playing make-believe like two idiots. Ryui. What the hell are you thinking, Yama? Why would you come here? Her voice changes octaves with every syllable, and her eyes are full of tears, but despite her terror, she's only worrying about me. I clear my throat and croak something incomprehensible, then try again. You're okay. Yeah, but not for long. Why didn't you just stay home? Because I couldn't leave her to die. Because I had to do something. I guess I got lazy at being lazy. She snorts out a choked laugh, something almost frenetic, as if she didn't mean to laugh, but she couldn't help it. Well, there's a surprise. She sends me a weak smile. I turn to Ryota, who only smiles lazily in response. You see, I'm a good sport, so very accommodating. You won't find an executioner of my tier anywhere else in the world. Executioner? Executioners kill for a purpose. Executioners are given targets by other people. Is it possible to get any information out of him? Executioner? You mean a glorified hunting dog? So I say with an attempt in a cold, flat tone, but to my dismay, my voice cracks. This only seems to heighten Ryota's glee. Oh, hunting? Oh no. Hunting is meant for practical purposes. Hunting is for the meat, or the hide, or the money from sales. I like to think myself as a gardener, pruning dead weight so the branches of actual promise can grow. My id is my employer, my ego the employee. And don't think I don't know what you're doing. Scraping for time won't bring the police any closer, boy. Do you realize that you sound... No more provocations. It's time for school to begin its session. He abruptly pounds the handle of his knife against his desk, blasting my ears with a sudden sound. My heart instinctively jumps into my throat. He snickers quietly at the shock that must be evident on my face. Welcome, class. Hate to say it, but you're now in remedial session. Well, knowing Mr. Ryota, I think he's going to take advantage of the fact that Ryui's here now, and we're gonna have to play his sick game once more.